Hello everyone, so my name is Winona Lumage, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys about toxic self-help. So I don't know if this is a good angle, it probably isn't, but let's change it up. Okay, so ang daming lumalabas ngayon na mga tao na mga self-help gurus. Whether it's in the Philippines, whether it's abroad, self-help is now a billion-dollar industry. And why would I even go as far as saying that self-help is now a billion-dollar industry? Because back in 2016, I myself was one of the clients of self-help, and me and my sister went to London to study a kind of life coaching. But this one is really targeted more for yourself. So it was I think 9-day seminar, full day seminar, and we went all the way to London for it. And then one of the speakers invited us over for a 6 p.m. Talk about how you can use self-help and generate business out of it. So this was like a free lecture, a free eye-opener about how big the self-help industry is and how big the self-help industry is going to boom. And mind you, this is 2016, okay? We're now here in 2021. This is the second year of the pandemic, and self-help is still a big business. It has already been a big business even before 2016, but now it has boomed. Not only do you have Tony Robbins and the usual like Alan Watts or whoever's self-help do you listen to, like maybe Bob Proctor, but now there are so many new names who claim that they have changed their lives and they made a lot of difference in their own lives, and now they want to share that information, they want to share their stories, they want to share their techniques with you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone wants something more in their lives, and this is part of human nature. We always want to expand, we always want to improve in one way or another, whether it's material or spiritual. Okay, now I have another opinion on that, but let's not go into that. Okay, what I'm getting into is more of the toxic side of self-help, because I went to seek out self-help during 2016 or life coaching because I myself had problems with my own behaviors. For example, there were times where I couldn't manage myself emotionally and even behaviorally, and this had stemmed from a lot of things in my subconscious mind. So I was able to get my own life coach, and it helped tremendously. And there were times where it peaked and it went down and then went up. It's like a roller coaster ride, to be honest. But let me dive in to what you should be careful about when listening to self-help. Because a lot of people now on the internet want to sell their content to you. They want to sell what they can offer, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to take it with a grain of salt and be careful with all the information you digest so that you can protect yourself. Protect yourself against what? Because like I said for the third time, there is a toxic side of self-help that we want to show you, that I want to talk to you about. So number one, okay, people say that there is something wrong with ego. And even this author has this book where the ego is the enemy. Now, I'm not even talking about the contents of the book. I'm just talking about the title of the book, that ego is the enemy. It's saying that it's presupposing at least, that ego is something that you should despise and something that you should fight. Because when something is the enemy, you should fight it, right? So, I'm gonna show you my awards when I was a kid. So, I have my most trusted awards. So sorry, I kind of zoomed it in. Fraction Olympics. This was 2007. Yes, I was in 5th grade and I got a gold award. This is a grade 5, and I can compute fractions, like 20 problems in a minute. So that's how I got that. Everybody thought I was cheating, but I just have tools in my mind that I can really do it because I was taught it when I was in grade 3. So the other one is certificate of merit. So that's just for me attending what do you call this? For me attending tennis classes. But I actually have a bunch more, even trophies. I don't know where the trophy went. Most improved student in grade 4. I have a bunch of certificates down below that I decided. Oh, a lot of them I actually threw out. Okay, and the reason why I threw them out is because there is a misleading conversation about ego is the enemy. So, in a mission for me to let go of my ego, I decided to throw away my certificates, or at least most of them, or at least all of them except for these two, which have, special meaning. And I was trying to, gradually let go of my ego during that time. And I even had someone, like a friend, who said that, ego is bad and it's something that we need to get rid of. And, I'm gonna tell you right now that ego is not in any way bad. There is misuse of ego and there's a good use of ego. So, that's for another topic, but that's just one of the, toxic sides of self-help. And let me give you a brief explanation why I say that ego is not something we should fight. Because it's part of us. If you fight something that's part of you, then how can you're gonna have an eternal conflict within yourself. Seriously, if you fight something that's within you. Now, ego is something that you should use in a good way, and ego is something that brings about desires, and that's another thing. Ego is very much attached to desires, and the number 2 toxic thing about self-help, not all, but there's some who say that desires are bad, and desire leads to attachment. And there are even teachings that say that too. But, just my personal opinion, based on my own experiences, I tried that self-help to let go of all the desires. I felt peaceful, yes, but there's still a void inside of me. I felt like something was missing. Why? Because desires is something that we should not deny completely. Because desires is part of us. We're humans. All humans want to expand. All humans want to improve in one way or another. And that is a lot in the way of desires. People want to expand. They want more into their lives. They want more abundance materially. They want more feelings of abstract things like happiness and peace and freedom. So these are the things that people want. And to say that we should deny all of that is toxic. Okay, but what we should do about it is another topic. Now, I'm not saying that we should all desire and be greedy. No. So, stay tuned. Anyway, so what are the other toxic sides of self-help? So, my arm is kind of getting a little bit, this camera is very heavy. But let me continue. Okay, so the other parts that are toxic about self-help is that people are saying that when you listen to a lot of life coaching, when you listen to a lot of success stories, people say that, oh, there's this young kid, he's just, a teenager and now he has a freaking Lamborghini, right? There's a lot of success stories that you listen to, and this person was so poor before, now she is now world number 1 at whatever sport that you love, and you also want to be world number 1 in that sport. Or maybe it's even in a smaller community, maybe it's within your circle, and your friend has now made, let's say, $60,000 or 3 million pesos or whatever, how much money is a kind of success already in your country. So, you hear about this entrepreneur, you hear about this person, they're all success stories. But what is their purpose? You have to ask yourself, what is the purpose of this person for he or she to tell about their success stories? If the person is about, wanting to sell you something, then 100% of the time, take the story with a grain of salt, because the stories have a lot of deletion. They don't tell you a lot about the part where they failed. They don't tell you a lot about the part where they had a lot of struggles. I don't know what it is because they're not telling it to us. Or maybe they may be telling a little bit about it, but they're not telling the whole picture. They're not telling the whole story. They're showing you a frame of the video and of their lives. And the toxic part about it is because you end up thinking that, oh, this person, it presupposes that it's easy to become successful. It presupposes that being successful takes a year or two, or maybe even less than that, or maybe even 3 years. But it doesn't show you the reality of all the things they had to struggle with before they were able to be prepared for that opportunity, right? And they don't also tell you that when they had that opportunity, they also had a lot of struggles. They may have earned money, then they failed, they tried something, they lost the money again, and then they gained it back again. All these stories are deleted. There are also part of the story that are distorted, a little bit, construed. So, like I said, it presupposes that this person is great at something, and you who's listening to that story, who wants to feel inspired, there's a little part of you, let's be honest, who feel like, I've been trying to also achieve that success, and yet I haven't. So it's a lot of times we kind of label ourselves na, we're not successful like this person, and, it's easy. Then, it ends up we judge ourselves, number one. Number two, when we're in that process of acquiring that success as well, and we struggle, because struggle is very normal, in all success stories there is that struggle, the untold story of struggle. And when we go on our journey and we listen to this person or this people out there in social media or whatever, then we think to ourselves, why am I struggling and this person had it easy, and we end up, giving up. Or maybe we don't really say that this person had it easy, but, we don't hear all the failures. So, we don't give ourselves a fair judgment or a fair perception of what we should go through to also achieve the same success. So that's the other part of the toxic self-help, number 3. So listen to stories with a grain of salt. And I'm not also talking about that in terms of money, success, or even fame and fortune, but this can also be talking about, happiness. There's also a lot of self-help now that's about happiness and peace and, emotional regulation, right? And we hear about these people people out there online, or even, in a non-virtual setting. And they tell you about their old self, and they tell you about their new self as if it's black and white. As if they had their old self, and then now, all of a sudden, they have shifted. And they're now a new person. They don't judge others. They're happy every day, and they have beaten loneliness out of their system. They have beaten anxiety out of their system. It's as if they're a perfect human being. It's as if they're a pre-programmed robot or artificial intelligence. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible for you to control your emotions. I'm not saying it's not possible for you to change your behaviors, to change your habits. It definitely is possible if you put your mind to it. But to say that there is one perfect example out there who doesn't have one negative day or 2 negative days or a dip of emotions in their lifetime ever since they had changed, that is another kind of self-help toxicity. We presuppose that there's others out there who we want to be like. They're a role model. Yet, to be honest, some of them, or even a lot of them, I would say, are not perfect. So, it makes you kind of want to be like them, and then you want to judge yourself that you're being happy, and then all of a sudden you had one bad day, or even you had one bad month, and you would end up judging yourself. Now I've changed, and then now I've plateaued, and I'm not like this person who's perfect. I'm not like this person who I hear in social media who's perfect and now has completely transformed their lives, because it's a marketing word, transform your life, right? And when you say transform, it kind of presupposes that you had an old self and now you have a new self, and you have magically changed something 360 degrees when it comes to your behavior, when it comes to your actions, when it comes to your thoughts, right? Yes, that is a marketing tool. So if you listen too much of that story that isn't even completely true, it kind of doesn't leave you much space for breathing. It doesn't leave you much space for feeling the negative. Because to be honest, maybe it is possible for you to be like that, the super desirable version of yourself. Maybe that is possible. Maybe it's possible that you're gonna be able to control your emotions 100% of the time, or maybe I would say 99.9% of the time. Maybe it's possible to be that person. But I would say that it doesn't take 1 year. It doesn't take 2 years. It doesn't take 4 years. It doesn't even take 5 years. And I might sound so negative to people, but the reason why I'm saying it doesn't take that much time, I'm saying it takes longer to reach that level of maturity when it comes to emotional regulation, when it comes to changing everything about yourself that you want to change, especially when it comes to your thoughts and your actions, is because all of these things stem from your unconscious mind. And trust me, I have tried so many tools and techniques to change your unconscious, and I would say that they've been really helpful, some of them, or maybe even a lot of them. But if you're a 25-year-old person and you had 25 years of experience in your life, you had 25 years of stories of negative things that have happened to you, and you have somehow processed them in your mind negatively, that's a lot of experiences. Unless you're serious about doing this and you're going to a confined and really solitude place, you're going to the Alps or the province or the most remote province without the influences of others, then it's gonna take a long time to dig into all of your past, because that's your life. If you're 25 years old, that's 25 years worth of experiences, of subconscious experiences that have caused subconscious beliefs that now cause subconscious thoughts and triggers to yourself. If you're 50 years old, then that's twice the amount of experiences that you have to really dig into. So that's 5 toxic things about self-help that I really talked to you about. I'm sorry the camera is really jiggly and everything. I'm just holding it with my hand, but I hope that has been very helpful for you today. Hopefully you're gonna be very careful when it comes to listening to a lot of self-help, and if they're selling you something that's worth like $20,000 or something, I suggest there's a lot of free content out there. Try it out for yourself, do it, or for me, my own belief is it's really up to you. You need tools, yes, listen to them, learn the tools. It's you who will do it all on your own. Okay? So have a nice afternoon, guys, and well, maybe it's not afternoon for you, but that's it for today. So see you on the next few days, and I would like you to comment or suggest a topic. We can talk about that desire topic, which I believe is gonna be really well tied up to this topic. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much.